But we back. We got Mr. Yo, hold on. You wearing mad colors today, bro.
My fault.
Yeah, but you colorful.
Yeah.
You got something to tell us?
No, you have something to tell us.
I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
We could insert the clip.
Which clip?
The clipped.
Which one?
There's a lot of clips.
Do you know which one?
I probably do.
What the? How many?
Yes.
Yo. Stop. What's in your cup?
Sprite. Got some Wendy's, bro. And they could be hungry.
Alright, we got P&B Rock.
Who? That nigga dead.
Wow.
RP. Kieran. We got Mr. Mandikes, Mikey Mike, my boy, and then the one and only, truly
Ugly ass Keem.
suck my.
I was expecting that introduction to be a lot more fucked up and offensive. I'm disappointed in you.
Damn,
I'm not always fucked up, bro.
Are you?
I have. Shut up. I have my moments, but I'm not always fucked up.
I mean, with how long I've known you, I still expected it to be a lot more offensive.
I thought about it. I thought about it. So, how you guys doing today?
It's fucking cold.
I'm good.
Bro, it's like fucking 10
Nah, yeah, it's
below
mad
zero
cold
out,
outside.
and these two were both wearing, like, shoes with holes in them.
My feet aren't cold though.
How?
He wasn't
I got used to
outside
it.
long.
I wasn't.
I ran
Yeah.
inside.
Well, I'm white and my feet are cold, and I'm wearing fucking Uggs.
Yeah, you see me. It's Ugg season. Tell her to get you some Uggs.
I was not trying to open my trunk for my Uggs.
That's fair. Yeah.
Why you keep your Uggs in the trunk?
Actually, that
He keeps
yeah,
everything
you're
in
asking
his
the
trunk.
right questions.
Never mind.
Because I didn't have because my Uggs were my driving shoes, but then I had to get my work shoes, and they were in my trunk. And I was not trying to walk back into the front of my car.
That just sounds like
He was
too
just
much.
being lazy.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
just sounds like too much.
Yeah, but it be like that sometimes.
So today we're bringing forth, Mr. Mandic over here, because we trying to be inspirational. We're not only trying to bring you some funny shit. We trying to bring you real life shit. So I'm cursing a lot. God damn.
It's because I'm
As
here.
you Chris again.
Yeah, we try to bring you some real life stuff. So
So
we get our point across.
why you looking at me? What
Because you said something.
I said so.
Yeah.
That's all I said, bro. Why you looking at me like that? You think I'm cute?
Oh, he's thinking about it too.
You're taking too long to
about it.
answer.
I'm not thinking about it. Trust me. You know what I want to say. Fucking porch monkey.
Wow.
So, do you want me to kind of introduce your story
Yeah,
or
go
the
for
reason why you're here?
Yeah,
or
go for it. It's your show.
You want me to just throw you right in?
It's your fucking show, bro.
Just give an
That's your
overview and
story.
then
That's
here
your-
for the fucking
he'll expand
ride.
on it.
All right. So we're here to talk about his lifestyle. He's a former drug abuser
An alcoholic.
and alcoholic.
Alcohol is the main problem. Drugs were a secondary thing. That
This
kinda
is
came
why-
a little bit later on.
This is why I say he's my favorite crack baby. No offense.
Wow.
Crack baby's crazy.
Bro.
Nah, but he's a good dude. He's in the fire department. That's how I met him.
Crack baby?
Yeah.
All right, favorite crackhead. Okay. What, you want me to say dumpster baby?
Only if it's prom night, dumpster baby.
Only if it's prom night dumpster baby. You. Never mind. So, I want you to tell us your story.
Like the whole thing or like condensed version?
Condensed version, but give us, the most important parts of like how you came about to using, who like introduced you.
How did it start?
All right, so, I mean, we were all fucking 16-year-old high school shitheads at one point. What do you do at 14, 15, 16 years old when you're with your friends on a Friday night?
Experiment.
Steal fucking parents' alcohol. You have fun, right? It never was a problem for me until it became a problem, right? So I was using alcohol to self-medicate. So really the best I guess, phrase that I could think of to describe it is if my brain could forget what my eyes have seen. Right. So, like Hakeem said, he's in the firehouse with me. Being a firefighter, we see a lot of fuck shit, like stuff that people really shouldn't have to be exposed to, but kind of have to be exposed to do the things that we do.
Yeah.
Someone got to do it.
Right. Exactly.
And there's a stigma around first responders, regardless of what they do, whether it's fire, EMS, police, that at the end of the day, we're like superheroes, right? The shit we see, we're used to it, we're numb to it, it doesn't bother us. But at the end of the day, we're human. Yes, it affects everybody differently, but for me, I bottled it all up. I never wanted to talk about it. I took that stigma very much to heart. And I kind of describe it as like a champagne bottle, right? So when you shake a champagne bottle, what happens?
It pops.
The fucking cork blows
Yeah.
out. That's what happened. Eventually, I
Pop
bottled up
bottles.
so much shit that the bottle got shaken up enough, the cork popped. I still didn't want to talk about it, and I just drank to numb it. And then eventually down the line from that came drugs.
Who introduced you to it?
To what, drinking or drugs?
Well, drinking, obviously, we all do. We all did it.
I drink water.
Well, now,
You're the biggest
all I
alcoholic
drink
in
is
the
water
group.
and coffee. But drugs-wise,
All right, you don't have to say the person's name, but
No,
like,
no,
was
no.
it like a
I mean, like,
close friend?
no. I mean, I smoked a lot of weed when I was younger.
Okay.
I stopped smoking weed when I was probably 17 just because I never liked the way it made me feel. I just kind of smoked weed to fit in with the crowd that I was hanging out with.
Yeah.
I've tried a lot of drugs. I didn't abuse a lot of drugs. The drug that I guess I technically abused the most was morphine. But that came as a direct result of my drinking. Right? So what was happening was, really what happens is when you drink too much, right? The alcohol absorbs all the water out of your stomach, and then it causes the muscles around the stomach lining to dehydrate, causing muscle spasms. I would be on the floor in a ball, couldn't move, nothing. I was in so much pain from the muscle spasm that I'd end up in the hospital. They would give me morphine. Eventually, it got to a point where when I drank, I couldn't function without morphine, which is fucking ironic because I couldn't function without alcohol. So I couldn't function without one thing, and then to continue functioning drinking, I
You
needed
have
to
to
get
take
morphine.
the morphine, yeah.
It got to a point where I was like, I don't want to keep getting fucking ambulance bills and hospital bills. My insurance hates me. So I was in EMS for years. I kind of knew the codes to the med closets at the hospitals and stole some morphine. So I was able to administer morphine myself, which, hindsight's 2020. That's fucking stupid. But, for anybody who doesn't know, morphine is pretty much legal heroin. It's literally heroin. That's just made properly. I've never done actual heroin. I've never done fentanyl. Never tried crack. Never tried meth. But the one drug that I did use that was introduced to me at a party by somebody that I didn't even know was ketamine. If you don't know what that is, it's a horse tranquilizer. And when it's taken in microdoses or a specific dose, it's a wicked fucking upper. So it's basically like if you took cocaine and speed and mixed them, and then they had a fucking baby with a Four Loko.
A
That's
baby
what
with a
ketamine
Four
is.
Loko.
It's a really wild ride. I didn't use it as much as I would have liked to before I got sober, because it was fun. And I mean, admittedly, drugs are delicious, but when it became a problem, it was a problem. I lost fucking everything, bro. I lost everything financially. I lost my relationship with my family, so both my parents and my sister. Lost best friends over it. My relationship was pretty much going to shit. And I went from being like a social drinker and partier, like going to the bars, going out with the boys, to fuck everyone. I want to be left alone. I would literally just sit in my garage, drink until I was blacked out, chain smoking Marlboro Reds, and just watching random shit on YouTube on a tablet in my garage just to not be bothered by anybody. And and then I hit my bottom. And that night that I hit my bottom, I don't know what it was that made me realize I was at bottom. But the only thing that I actually remember is that I was in a screaming match with my father, and in the middle of it, I stopped screaming. I looked at my kitchen floor and I started bawling my eyes out. And he looked at me and said, "What the fuck just happened? What's wrong with you?" I said, "Dad, I need to get help. Like, I'm dying." He goes, "What?" He's like, "I'm looking at you. You're breathing. You're talking. You're standing up. Like, you're not dying." I was like, no. Like, I mean, I'm slowly killing myself with what I'm doing. Like, I was blind to it. Like, I think I was more in denial, like, that people around me knew how bad my drinking problem was. But the reality of it was that everybody around me knew how bad my drinking problem was, including the guys at the firehouse.
Yeah.
Like, everybody around me knew how bad it was. Again, at that point, I had left the fire department. I threw that away. Like, I threw everything away. So, I said to my father, I said, "Listen, you know I have a drinking problem." I said, "But you don't know, like, you and Mom don't realize that not only can I not function without alcohol, but once I start drinking, I can't continue to function without morphine."
Yeah, they didn't know how deep it was.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then he started crying. Then my mother comes downstairs. She's screaming at me because she thought that we were still in a screaming match. Then she ran back upstairs crying, not knowing what the fuck was going on. My dad looked at me after she ran back upstairs. He walked over, gave me a hug, and said, "We're going to get you the help you need." 5 days later, I'm on a one-way flight to LA going into rehab. With all intents and purposes on staying in rehab for 30 days, I ended up in LA for almost a year. I did 3.5 months in inpatient rehab and about 6 months in sober living. And I'm now 4 years and almost 4 months sober.
It's good.
I appreciate the golf clap.
Yeah, like
Being that I'm a golfer, I really appreciate the golf clap.
That's nice.
how'd you feel when you were at your bottom?
Oh, dude, I honestly, like, when I was at my bottom, it was a really weird feeling. It was a mix of both, like, happiness and relief. Like, a huge weight was lifted off my shoulders. So, like, finally, like, I'm admitting
Yeah.
that I had this problem. Like, I'm completing the first step of AA without realizing that I'm completing the first step. But in the same respect, it's like, I just want to fucking die, because now I'm actually openly admitting that this thing, this inanimate object, has full control over me. Like, I can't function without this.
Yeah.
Like, so it was that really weird mix. Like, it's a weird dichotomy to be in where, you feel all this relief and weight lifted off, but on that same token, it's just like, this fucking sucks. Like, I just want to die right now. But it's at that point, it became a very, very brief internal struggle, because in the matter of a second, I was like, wait, why the fuck am I saying I feel like I want to die right now? Like, I can change my life. I can turn my life around because I'm doing this for me. Like, I'm saying that I need to get help. Like, my family had been trying to tell me for years to go get help. But I was like, I'm fine. I don't have a problem. Now it's me saying it. So that bottom was, once that internal battle ended, it was the greatest fucking feeling in the world. There was a lot of stress that was involved with it too, because, that next day I had to go into work, tell my boss, "Hey, listen, I'm going to have to take an extended leave of absence to go to rehab." Sure as shit, even my boss is like, "Well, it's about goddamn time." It's like, wait, what? And mind you, this is a civil service job. This is a mayor who was telling me this. He's like, "It's about fucking time that you're going to get help." Like, dude, we all know you have a problem. Like, it's not a secret. Well, shit, I thought it was, but okay.
It was a secret to you. But not to them.
It was a secret to me for a long time, but I guess, not to the fucking people I work with. I guess they knew that I was sneaking in Kahlua in my coffee every fucking day.
Jeez.
Yeah.
But that's good that they're supportive of you.
Well, that's another story. Well, so they were, and to this day, they still are very, very supportive of it. But when I was in sober living, this was like Christmas 2018, around that time. So my sobriety date is September 13th, 2018. So right around Christmas of 2018, I had all my mail forwarded to the sober living that I was in LA. and I get a letter from the municipality. And just, you know, for the sake of them, I'm not going to say which municipality, but basically I open the letter, I read it, and immediately I was fucking livid as soon as I read it, because basically they were just like, yeah, you're fired. You know, they had to make it professional. So they were like, you know, due to your extended leave of absence, you know, the village board has taken a vote and we've decided to terminate your employment without prejudice. So now I'm fucking pissed because I'm like, now here I am trying to clean my shit up and you're basically telling me to go fuck myself. So what did I do? I was like, you know, old me would have been like, I'm going to get fucked up. But instead I picked up the phone. I called my sponsor. I called this dude, Danny, who was in one of the other houses. So the sober living I was in had 3 houses. He was in one of the other houses. I call him. He came and picked me up. We went met up with my sponsor. So the 3 of us sat down. We talked it over. I did a fucking 4th step on it, which 4th step is like a personal inventory. So it's like everything that's pissed you off to no end, everywhere that you fucked anybody over, like whether financially, personally, whatever. So I did a 4th step on it. And I looked at my sponsor and I was like, how the fuck am I supposed to do a 9th step on this, right? So a 9th step is like where you make amends to those people.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, if Hakeem lent me $3,000, right? And I never paid him back. Part of that 9th step is to pay him back that $3,000. But now say
I gave that back. Like,
but now say I said some fuck shit to you 10 years ago, right? That 4th step is in the 4th step I'd put down, I fucked Phil over and said all this shit to him that was fucked up in these ways. Then the 9th step would be me to reach out to you and make an amends for that and apologize for my actions. Right now, in my amends processes, I had people that were beyond ecstatic that I fucking finally decided to do something right with my life. Then I had other people that I, you know, hurt so bad that they're like, look, you know, I'm happy for you that you're doing the right thing for yourself, but you said some really fucked up stuff to me, so I can't have you as a part of my life. And you know what? That's fine. I respect that.
I understand that.
You know, I get that.
everyone has a decision to make.
Right. I mean, but you know, it's a interesting, fucked up lifestyle to live. Because like I've sponsored people, right? So I've worked the 12 steps, twice now, I think. And I've sponsored people. I've had sponsees relapse and die. I've had sponsees that relapsed and then came back into the rooms. But when you relapse and you come back in, I can't be your sponsor again.
Yeah.
So now it's like, you know, I'm trying to help these dudes stay sober. To date, I have one sponsee who has stayed sober, and he's now a U.S. Marine. Wow. Dude just graduated boot camp, then he graduated his job training, and he's now immediately deployed. So he's the only one that I've had stay sober, and he's 18 years old.
Wow. He really did that shit.
Bro, I've had grown-ass men relapse. But I had an 18-year-old kid that's been sober for 2 years and enlisted in the Marine Corps.
I'm proud.
Thanks.
Shout out to him.
Yeah. Fucking love that kid.
Y'all just look shocked. Like, y'all, yo.
What? Nigga, you look at me, so I looked at you.
Facts.
Yeah, nah, I was looking at everyone's like facial expression during the story, and niggas just all look, oh, wow.
Oh,
Now I was tuned in.
Nah, I figured y'all was tuned in, but
But if y'all have questions, just jump in.
All right, so like, how do you like stay sober? Like, how do you not like relapse?
Like now?
Yeah.
So a big part of it is routine, which admittedly my routine changes periodically, and it'll kind of flip-flop from like a healthy routine to like a lazy routine. And right now I'm in a super fucking lazy routine. Like my healthy routine is I'll wake up at like 4:30 in the morning. I'll do a solid workout.
that's mad early.
Right.
Yeah.
4:30.
I'll wake up 4:30. I'll do a solid workout. Drink like probably half my body weight in coffee. Go back to sleep. Shower. Drink more coffee. Then do what I got to do throughout my day. Yeah, I know it doesn't make sense.
Coffee?
Yeah, bro. My caffeine tolerance is like
How you drink coffee and go back to sleep?
coffee puts me to sleep, bro.
Are you?
Yeah, I don't.
Are you not?
Nah,
addicted to
coffee gets me
caffeine?
tired too, but if I drink coffee and I go to sleep, that's it. I'm done. Now I'll wake up, but doing anything else after that is it's over.
It doesn't make me tired.
Coffee puts me to sleep. But yeah, the routine I'm in now, which is my lazy routine, which is pretty much like I wake up when I wake up. If I feel like it, I'll wake up at like 6:30, 7 o'clock. I'll make coffee and then I'll go sit at my computer and play video games for like 15 hours.
No,
That's pretty much the routine I'm in right now. Like,
Right.
because right now I'm not working.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm moving in 3 weeks. So now my routine is just fucking wake up, drink my body weight in coffee, and just go play video games for like 15 hours. Like, he texted me today. He's like, don't forget tonight, 8:30. I was sitting at my computer playing video games.
Yeah.
But another really big part of it, though, like with maintaining sobriety, is keeping a very solid sober network. So, like, recovery here, like AA here, I fucking hate it. It's terrible. Like, the meetings I go to here, I've been to one young person's meeting that was just terrible. And then the only other meeting that I thought was, like, okay, is pretty much just a bunch of old men bitching about how their wives made them turn off a football game. I'm like, bro, I'm here to hear, like, I'm here to listen to your fucking experience, strength, and hope. Not about your wife making you turn off the fucking Giants game. They're going to lose anyway. Who cares? Like,
Right.
this isn't fucking sobriety. This is, like, go see a fucking marriage counselor. But, like, what I'll do is since COVID now, a lot of AA meetings are on Zoom. So I'll do meetings on Zoom that are LA based because that's the recovery that I'm used to. So, like, I do a men's meeting on Wednesday nights. That's an invite-only meeting. I'm super tight with all the guys in there. But I keep in very close contact with my sponsor, who's still in LA. I talk to him every day. My boy Danny, who I mentioned before, I talk to him almost every day. And then I have another guy whose name I'm not going to mention just to respect his sobriety. But I talk to the three of them pretty regularly. And keeping in touch with them really helps to keep me in touch with my sobriety.
Yeah.
I speak at some of the schools in the county, at the high schools, and I share my story with the kids. Like, so I'll share 15 minutes, and then I'll open it up for questions, and I'll answer whatever questions they have. So being able to do that, I kind of, like, to me, it's almost like the same as speaking at an AA meeting. Like, being the dude who's sharing your story for all the other fuck-ups in the room.
Yeah.
And, like, answering their questions, it just kind of reminds me, like, where I came from and where I'm at now and how much progress I made. And it helps me to remember that if I go back to that, like, if I relapse, there is no coming back.
Yeah.
Like, if I relapse, I'm going to die as an active alcoholic. Like, at least if I die tomorrow, I'll be able to, like, my family will be able to say, like, yeah, he's dead, but he died sober. And he fought to maintain that shit. So it's a mix of all those things, like support, meetings, and routine. Those three things are the biggest key for me to maintain sobriety. But for everybody that's in the program, it's different.
Did you ever think that, like boom, so
I boom.
I always say that I boom.
Yeah, I know.
I can't say boom now.
So,
So boom.
So did you ever think that like you will be the one to go down this road, like you know how we always used to go to school or whatever, right? And we used to, like, there'll be one time out of nowhere that we had like a school attendance thing where someone's speaking.
Yeah.
Did you ever think, like if you looking back now as your younger self, did you ever think that like you end up down that road?
Like, that I'd be the one up there sharing my story?
Yeah.
Fuck no. I mean, honestly, I don't think anybody who's in my shoes or in my position ever at any point in their life would have thought that we'd be sitting in those fucking rooms listening to somebody share their story, and that, you know, the next meeting, I'm going to be the one at the podium sharing my story. I'm going to be the one talking in front of fucking assemblies at schools about how I overcame this shit and survived it. Like, I also kind of want to make a point of this too, because I do kind of feel like this is a very important point to make. And it's a two-part point. So, like I mentioned before, like before this all started, we were sitting out there. There's very, 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 very few people that are sober in my shoes that go through this that will do this, that will sit down and openly talk about it. Because, I mean, what's the fucking second A in AA? Anonymous. And a lot of people hold the anonymity to heart. They're like, I don't want people to know that I'm sober. Like, I don't want people to know that I'm an alcoholic. I don't see it that way, because the way that I look at it, right, is me talking about this could potentially help somebody else realize, like, it's okay to be not okay. And, like, I have that same fucking problem. And if this dude can get through it, I can get through it. Right? Mm-hmm. But in that same breath, it also has to be said that out of everybody who attempts sobriety, less than 5% of people will be able to achieve and maintain long-term sobriety. Right? Now, keep in mind, I got sober at 25. Right? At under 30 years old, less than 1% of people who attempt sobriety will be able to achieve and maintain long-term sobriety. I'm part of less than 1%.
That's what I like to hear.
Beat the odds.
It's fucked up, man. Like, dude, like, people say on social media and wherever the fuck else, it's not a disease. Well, it is a fucking disease. Sorry. Well, no. Fuck you, I'm not sorry. It is a disease. I beat it, I overcame it. Right? Like, look, I was really fucking bad with alcohol. Really fucking bad. I was not as bad with drugs. But still, like, there are people that I know in the program, some that are very public with their sobriety, who were dramatically worse than I was. Like, way fucking worse. And they overcame it. You know, one of those people who's very famous, very open with their sobriety, I'm very fortunate to have as my mentor in the program. Mm-hmm. You know, and it's like, this dude was way worse off than I was. And after getting to know him and getting close with him, I was like, if this stupid motherfucker could stay sober, there's no way that I can't stay sober. You know, and like, yeah, life throws curveballs at you, but it's just sticking to your guns. Like, yeah, temptation's always lurking right around the fucking corner, but as long as you have willpower and you're able to realize, like, when you're not in a good mood, you remove yourself from a situation. Easier said than done sometimes.
Yeah, definitely.
But
Definitely.
it's all about having that ability to be like, nah, I can't fucking do this. I can't be here. Because if I stay here, it's not going to end good. It'll end really bad.
Yeah.
And if I have a relapse, I know he'll show up at my house to fucking kill me.
Sounds about
You
right.
and Jeff.
Big time.
Actually, I'd probably have our whole firehouse there with the trucks
Big time.
ready to kill me.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. I'll strap you to the front of the truck and we'll go for a joyride. and this weather right now. This weather.
Hakeem gonna start playing one of the fucking Dare videos.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, this is our new Dare mascot.
Bro, I've actually had people ask me, like, do you think Dare works?
I don't think so.
No.
Yeah, no.
I don't think Dare works. And the reason I don't think Dare works is very simply because what are you fucking teaching them? Drugs are bad. Okay. Fucking Siri could tell me that too.
What does
Watch
Dare
fucking
stand
South
for?
Park.
Honestly,
What
I
does
don't
Mr.
remember what it
Mackey say?
stands for.
Drugs are bad. Like, you're not teaching them why. You're not teaching them what happens to your body.
Okay.
Like, bro, I'm still, to this day, and I forever will be suffering long-term health effects from my drinking. Like, my knees are both shot from it. My fucking back's gone from it. And that's not from, like, strenuous shit. That's just from fucking drinking. Like, my body is fucking destroyed because of it. They don't teach you that in Dare.
Yeah, they definitely
They don't
teach
fucking
you that.
teach you that in Dare, bro. In Dare, they don't teach you that if you snort enough cocaine, you'll get a fucking hole in your septum and you can lace a fucking shoelace through it. Yeah. See, that's the thing, right? Y'all laugh.
Yeah.
Y'all laugh. But that's the thing. If you snort enough cocaine, it literally will burn a hole through your septum.
Yo, that's...
And the only way that you can fix it is with a very invasive surgery.
Nah, fucking I remember back in my middle school days, when we were doing their shit, right? My dance teacher brought the drugs like in a little book, in a little like in like a book. Like she just started pointing out this like heroin. I'm like, yo, this should not be here. And
Bro, they did that shit for us at Haverstraw Middle School. Their officer comes in with that book. Everything's like encased in like resin or some shit.
Yeah.
This is what heroin looks like. This is what cocaine looks like. And like I remember sitting there like,
why?
okay, that's cool. But what does it do?
They didn't really teach you nothing.
It's like, bro, I'm in 5th grade. How the fuck am I supposed to know what heroin does to you?
And then them giving you the drunk goggles. If anything, that was more fun to me.
Bro, the drunk goggles are fun as shit.
Right.
Dude, I remember I did
I don't remember that.
I did a youth
You know
police
that-
academy.
But
I think I did it, but I don't remember.
they did it in health class in college also. Not college. In high school.
Bro, I did youth police academy, and they put the drunk goggles on us. They had us drive a golf cart. I was the only one to drive the golf cart and not hit a single fucking cone. To this day, I'm still proud of that.
I had to think that through.
But they should like actually really like start doing that, like classes on that.
They should.
I'll never do it though.
But that's the thing. They won't, right? So like when I speak at like Tappan Zee, right? I go to TZ, I speak there. They pay me. I don't want them to, because I don't want fucking money for it. But legally, they have to.
Yeah.
Right, so when they pay me, I take that money and I send it to the sober living that I was in. And I say to the owner, use this money to sponsor one of the guys who needs help getting food or getting whatever. Now, like, yeah, if I'm fucking hurting, I will keep a very small percentage of it. But I fucking hate doing that because then at that point now I feel like I'm profiting off of my recovery.
Yeah.
And that's just toxic. Like, if you're going to profit off of your recovery, you're just setting yourself up for failure. You know, like, so I only keep a little bit if I'm really hurting and like I know I need to fucking put some gas in my car. But aside from that, like I'll send it over to him and I'll be like, yo, Rob, whatever dude is hurting the most, like needs help with food, with Uber, with rent, whatever, put this towards it.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just the way it is. Like, you know, if anybody, whether it's you guys or anybody who's gonna eventually end up hearing this, wants to do that, Brandon Novak from Jackass, he has and mainly Viva La Bam, but he has a sober living now, and he has I think 4 houses. It's called Novak's House, and what he does is he helps guys who are newly sober, puts them in a safe environment, so they're able to start building a foundation for themselves for sobriety, and they allow people to like quote unquote sponsor a guy, which is like you basically you donate money to them, and then that money that you donate goes to help give that guy food or clothes or whatever. Because a lot of those guys that are going into his houses are coming right out of jail. Whereas like where I was, just for comparison, the rehab I was in, it was 4 houses. So there was 3 different stages for inpatient. Well, I'm sorry, 2 houses for inpatient. The 3rd was outpatient, and the 4th was their sober living. The first house that I was in was like in like a $12 million house in Cheviot Hills.
Oh man.
You know, so like I was in a bougie ass environment. Sober living I was in, I mean, it was fucking expensive, right? So like when I was in rehab, the rehab I was in was $65,000 a month.
A month?
$65,000 a month. When I got in a partial scholarship. So basically, they just took whatever insurance was willing to pay, and that's just because I kind of had an in with them through a family member who works in treatment out there. That was for months 1 and 2. My third month, I was full scholarshiped, which meant they weren't charging insurance anything. I was pretty much there for free. Halfway through month 4, I was asked to leave because I kind of broke a rule, which I'm not going to get into because I'm not proud of it. It had nothing to do with relapse, though. Kind of had everything to do with me and another client. What? You want to know?
I feel like I know what it is,
All right.
but
That was my
All right,
guess.
fuck it, I'll spill. All right, basically, when you're in rehab, so it was a co-ed rehab, right? So men
yep.
and women.
yep, there it is.
Cardinal rule: men and women don't mingle.
Yeah, that was my
There it
guess.
is.
So they ended up saying like, look, you know,
Was
you
it
guys.
worth it?
No. basically, they were like, look, no, you guys can't talk. Like, you know, you can be around each other, whatever, just you can't talk. Try to just maintain distance. All right, cool, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
There was this one woman there who just, for whatever reason, found it necessary to go tell them that her and I were still talking, which we weren't. We were respecting the rule that was put in place. So her and I were both asked to leave. So her and I both left. We both went to separate sober livings. Whatever, shit happens. But then once I got to sober living, no more insurance involvement, nothing. It was $2,500 a month for a shared room. Did not include food, transportation, nothing. When I was in sober living, that was the first and only time in my life that I was on fucking food stamps.
2,500 and it's a shared room.
Shared room.
Right.
You each pay 2,500, or that's the total cost?
Each pay $2,500.
$5,000 just for a room is crazy. Couldn't. Ah, man.
Yeah.
Can't believe it.
Yeah, dude. So overall, me getting sober, I did the math and it was well over $100,000.
Damn.
Yeah.
How many times? Well, did you overdose?
We're
And if so, how many?
not gonna get into that.
Yeah, if you don't mind me asking, you know, or at least explain what it was like for you
So
coming back and seeing how your family was.
that I'll talk about. Like when I got back from sober living and shit, when I moved back here from LA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That I'll talk about. So the overdosing thing,
If you feel comfortable with talking about it, you can.
I don't think I've ever like actually legitimately overdosed. I definitely came close. There were times where like I passed out, woke up, my heart was fucking racing, felt like I did. I don't think I actually did. If I did, well, I'm still fucking here, so whatever. But like, dude, moving back from LA was like, look, I've done a lot of very difficult things in my life. I've made a lot of very difficult decisions. I have literally been to hell and back and faced the devil numerous fucking times. Moving back here was the hardest thing I've ever done. Because I went from being in rehab, where you're monitored fucking pretty much 24/7, to sober living, right, where just you're in a fucking house, but you're still held accountable, right? So I was still having to blow into a breathalyzer every time I got back to the house. I had to piss in a cup twice a week. Which, by the way, just for the record, if you have a job interview that you're going to have to get drug tested for, don't eat a poppy seed bagel. That actually will pop for opiates. Yeah. That actually is true. That is not a myth.
No, I didn't
Poppy
even
seed
know
bagel
that.
will pop for opiates.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Y'all hear this? The
Who's-
viewers?
I was about to say.
Oh, nah.
You looked at me. You looked at me. I was like, yo, bro, what you mean?
My fault.
Yeah, no, but
Not
seriously,
a-
though,
for the
if you
viewers.
eat a poppy seed bagel, I think it's like within 48 hours of taking a drug test, you will pop positive for opiates. It happened to me in sober living. My mother mailed me out bagels. I ate a fucking everything bagel. The house manager comes up after I pissed in a cup. I was sitting upstairs playing Fortnite. He walks up and he goes, "Did you eat a bagel today?" I said, "Yeah." Why? He goes, "What kind?" I was like, "Everything." He goes, "Are there poppy seeds on it?" I said, "Yeah." What? Wait, did I pop for opiates? He goes, "Yeah." I was like, "That's actually a thing?" He goes, "Yep."
Damn, that's crazy.
I was like, "Well, okay." I mean, he knew I wasn't using
Yeah.
because it was kind of obvious because I wasn't like fucking whacked out. So I respect the fact that he actually asked me as opposed to just being like, "You pop for fucking heroin."
Yeah.
yeah.
But you know, that's
Damn,
a
that's
real
crazy.
fucking thing. Yeah, dude, you know, going from like that, like from full control to pretty much being able to do whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted, but still being held highly accountable, to now being back like right in the lion's den. It was a really, really uncomfortable transition because like everything that I was doing was right next to me.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I got back. My parents had all the fucking booze locked up. Like, I didn't know where the key was. Like, now I know where the key is. Now my dad will be like, "Hey, can you go down into the wine cellar and pull out like 3 bottles of vodka and like a case of wine for the party tomorrow night?" Yeah, sure. Okay.
Speaking of, when's your party?
I'm not having one. I told you this how many times?
I keep hoping you change your mind.
How is it like being around alcohol? Like,
I mean, now it's easy. Because, like if I go out with the boys, right? Or, like, if my girl
I was
and I
gonna
go out
ask
to
that
dinner,
too.
you know, it's like if I go out to dinner with my girl, right? It's like I'll either get water or an unsweetened iced tea. She's not a big drinker, so she'll probably just I don't like fucking sweetened iced tea unless it's like
Unsweetened?
peach or raspberry or some shit.
Nasty words, but continue.
I'm white, man. Come on, white people like weird shit.
Oh, I know, but unsweetened tea is crazy.
Yeah.
But it's like if I'm out with the boys, like, you know, whether like we're at the place or fucking wherever, dude, I'll just be sitting there with my water, just fucking laughing at everybody making fools of themselves. Dude, and that right there, that alone,
It's very
seeing
entertaining.
How fucking
Nah,
stupid
facts.
people are when they're drunk makes it so much easier for me to be around alcohol because I'm like, that could be me, but it's not. So now I get to laugh at you making yourself look like an asshole.
It is very
It
entertaining.
makes you start thinking like, damn, was that me?
See, dude, that's the thing is like I know that was me. Like I know it was me.
Yeah. So boom. So. I was waiting for this guy. So instead of now,
Yep.
how about like when you first came back?
When I first came back, I couldn't be around it. Like I was a fucking like I wasn't even like a hermit. I was a goddamn recluse. I would not leave my house. If I did, it was like to get gas, get nicotine, or like just run to ShopRite quick. Like I would not leave. It took me. I moved back. I want to say March. March of 2019. I moved back. It took me like that was like I moved back like March 1st, right? So I could have rejoined the firehouse in March. It took me a month before I was comfortable just to go up to the firehouse to fill out, just to sit there and fill out an application in the president's office. But that was literally like I went up, sat in the president's office, I filled it out. I was like, all right, cool. I'll see you guys in a couple weeks. All right, awesome. I went right the fuck back home. Like it took me probably a good 5-6 months before I was comfortable like actually going out for dinner or like doing anything normal. Like I was terrified to leave. Literally all I did was sit in my house and play fucking video games.
Were you afraid that like you would relapse?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I was afraid that I was deathly afraid that I would have relapsed.
How'd you break that?
Confidence and time. You know, like after like being home and like slowly letting myself go out more and building up that confidence over time, like that I can be here and don't have to drink. That's when I was like, all right, I got this.
Okay.
It was fucking terrifying, but I was like, I got it.
How was if you had it? How was the withdrawals?
Withdrawals fucking suck, dude.
You just shiver around the corner like a little bitch.
I was on medicated withdrawals, so I was on phenobarbital, which is a barbiturate that helps to ease the withdrawal symptoms. For the first 48 hours. Actually, I'm sorry, it was the first 5 days. I would get woken up 3 times throughout the night so they could take my blood pressure. But I had shakes like, bro, I looked like Michael J. Fox. I was shaking so bad. Yeah, it was gnarly. I was super nauseous. I had what's called DTs, which is delirium tremors, where like you start seeing shit. I wouldn't wish those withdrawals on my worst enemy. But what made the withdrawals fucking terrifying is that there's only 2 things that you can withdraw from that can actually kill you when you're withdrawing from them. And that's alcohol and benzos. And for anybody who doesn't know, an example of a benzo is Xanax. So if you're hooked on fucking Xanax and you want to get sober from it, go put yourself into a fucking detox center so you can be monitored and medicated because you can die.
Oh wow.
So yeah, it was fucking terrifying. Like knowing like, all right, these withdrawals can literally fucking kill me. It's like I made it this far doing all this dumb shit and now trying to stop doing the dumb shit is what might kill me.
That's crazy.
So fucking counterintuitive.
Overall, would you say that you made your family happy?
Oh yeah. Dude, my relationship with my family now I think is
Probably
without a
twice
doubt
as
the
better.
best.
Yeah.
It's like the best it's ever been.
When are you gonna start your own family? I want to be an uncle.
He's out.
Fucking no, bro.
Listen, I gotta ask everybody because y'all not doing it.
Everybody.
Bro, if I have a kid, you really think I'm gonna let that kid around you?
Yeah.
I think again.
Listen, Grayson loves me.
Well, look who his dad is.
That's not the point.
His dad lets him around you.
That's not the point. That's not the point. That's not the point. Listen, just pop out like maybe one little kid, you know, let me come visit.
Nah, I still got time for that.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
in no rush to have kids. Granted, my girl's brother just had a little baby girl. Thank God she's healthy. She's a little fucking chunk. Dude, she was sending me pictures all day, and I told her flat out, I was like, you might want to fucking stop. She goes, why? I was like, you're giving me baby fever.
Oh, no.
But, yeah, dude, like, back on fucking topic here,
Yeah.
asshole.
Nah, I got a question though.
Okay.
So since you obviously been through it all, do you think it would be easy for you to like pick out the signs of where you could tell someone's
Oh, dude, I could tell.
on the downfall?
I could tell pretty much right away.
Okay.
Like, as soon as I'm around somebody, if they're drinking, I could tell very quick if they're a problem drinker. Or, like, if they're on a downward spiral with it. Like, dude, like...
I mean, once you experience that, you pretty much could spot it at any moment.
Yeah, it kind of becomes like a second nature type thing. It's like, yeah, this dude's gonna... I'll be seeing you in meetings soon, bud.
If they even go to those meetings.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, look, I have friends, well, some former friends that, you know, have actually asked me to take them to meetings and like help them get sober. But the problem is, it just didn't stick. Mm-hmm. But it's because they were doing it for the wrong reason, right? It's like if you go into AA or rehab, not on your own volition, it's not gonna
work. Yeah.
It ain't gonna work. Right, but dude, there's people that I was in rehab with that were there on court order. Shit didn't fucking work. They took off running in the middle of the night. Like, dude, there are people that I know from AA here. They came in because their wife was gonna leave them or their girl was gonna leave them. Mm-hmm. Didn't fucking work because they weren't there because they wanted to be there. They were there because they were trying to save a situation. It's like, if you ain't ready, it ain't gonna work.
Do you think that like it does not work like sometimes though? Like does it work sometimes? Like if you're not there for yourself?
I mean, it does, but it's rare. It's very, very rare that it'll stick with somebody who's there who's not there on their own accord. Like, if somebody comes in on a court order, it's very rare that it works. Like we say in the rooms, like, keep coming back, it works if you work it. And what that means is, like, the program fucking works if you put the work into the 12 steps. Right? So, like, if you come into the rooms and you ask me to sponsor you, I say the same thing to fucking every guy that I've ever sponsored. The steps are really fucking easy. It's a really simple concept. Mm-hmm. If you fucking put your all into it and you pour your heart into it, you are going to get your all back. If you half-ass it, you're going to get half-ass results. And it's not going to work. You know, but there are the rare instances where people come in on court orders and something clicks in them and they end up dumping them, like pouring themselves out into it, and it works.
Do you feel like they're more like liable to like relapse?
Probably.
I want to say yes and no, because at the end of the day, anybody who's sober at any point is liable for relapse. So I don't really think there's anybody that's more susceptible to relapse than the next person.
Yeah.
I look at it more from the perspective of those people are the ones that you're less likely to see coming back. Mm-hmm. Right? You know, so I don't know if I would really say relapse, because like a lot of the time it's like, all right, they have to go to 30 meetings in 30 days. So they have to do one meeting every day for a month. As soon as that month's up, they're no longer on that court order. They're going right back to drinking because they had no intention of stopping. They just took a 30-day break so they can get through court. You know, so it's kind of a weird thing. Like, I definitely think that they're the ones that you're most likely to not see come back. But
Really?
yeah,
Wow.
susceptibility to relapse-wise, everybody's susceptible to a relapse.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of protecting yourself from it as much as you can.
Should have known that one. Wow.
So like when you get to like a down point, like what do you do like to like not drink? Like instead of drinking, what do you do?
That kind of goes back to routine. You know, like the first thing I do is I pick up the phone and I call somebody, whether it's my sponsor or one of my boys. I'll call and be like, "Yo, I need to talk." All right, what up? Because I would rather talk to to another alcoholic who's gonna understand from a sobriety standpoint,
Yeah.
as opposed to like, going to my mom and being like, "Hey, I need to talk to you about this," and then it's like, yeah, she'll give me some decent life advice, but it's not gonna be like fucking sobriety advice. I'd
Yeah.
rather talk to somebody who's gonna be able to give me advice from
Both sides.
both sides. Give me that perspective too. Because without that perspective, it's just very one-sided. Like, yeah, it's helpful, but it's not really what I'm looking for.
I feel like you guys learned about Mike. I knew this shit though. That's why I was trying to stay quiet. Let you guys get your info in or
Questions.
Didn't you say your sister sent you a bunch of fucking questions too?
Yeah, but I knowing her, everything would have changed.
Okay.
Everything would have changed from hearing the story. She's like on the go type of person.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, basically, like, when you speak at a meeting, it's laid out very specifically,
Yeah.
and it's supposed to be what it used to be like, what happened, and what it's like now. Right? It's like that's pretty much kind of the way that I formatted like my initial introduction, right? And it's like I kind of touch on like what it used to be like, and then what happened that led into it,
Yeah.
and then like now, being over 4 years sober, like I'm back with the firehouse. I'm moving to fucking Florida in 3 weeks because I got a fucking job with the sheriff's department.
Back to the heat.
Dude, I can't fucking wait to get away from this.
Yo, bro. Oh my gosh, I can't wait.
Like, dude, I'm in the fucking military. Like, the fucking government spent, I think, like close to $500,000 training me to fucking kill people. Like,
Something you would have done for free.
probably.
Also
Something you would have done for free.
Call of Duty shit.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Not no GTA, Call of Duty.
But but honestly, like where I'm at now in life, like yeah, I've still made mistakes in sobriety. I've made mistakes, things that I wish I could go back and change, but it's the past. You can't change it. You can't change what happened. All you can do is try to change future outcomes. But honestly, dude, I would not be where I am today if I didn't get sober. Because the reality of it is, if I didn't get sober, I'd be dead or in jail. The fact that I still have a driver's license is a fucking miracle. The fact that I didn't get anybody killed is a fucking miracle. Dude, I was showing up to fire calls, fucked up, like trashed. The fact that I didn't get any of our guys killed or hurt,
Yeah.
or myself.
Yeah.
Like, dude, like I learned from everything that I did, and yeah, that was a very dark part of my life, but I don't regret any part of it. I regret none of it because I was able to learn so much from it and grow from it so much that it allowed me to really turn into who I am now. Like, I'm not the same person I was 4 years ago. He'll tell you, I was an asshole. I was a piece of shit. I cared about nobody but myself. Literally nobody but myself. Now, I mean,
Sweetheart.
I wouldn't go that far, but
Don't worry about it.
It's that splat.
I mean, but now, dude, like I'm at a point in my life where I'm back on track. you know, yeah, I still have to break out of this fucking lazy routine that I'm in because, you know,
It's just a face.
meaning, you know, playing Grounded for 15 hours is a little
Excessive.
because I'm like, now I'm kind of flirting with Endgame and I don't want to finish it yet because I still have a lot to do. But, you know, like I said, my relationship with my family is probably the best it's ever been. I've accomplished more in the last 4 years than I think I have in my entire fucking life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I became less than 1% of the United States military as a whole. Like, in enlisting in the military, I'm the only one on my dad's side of the family to follow in his father's footsteps with enlisting, which was a lifelong dream of mine. I'm back with the firehouse. I was at a fucking fire call before this. I had to text his dumb ass and say I might be late.
Yeah.
And of course, the response I get is, "Yeah, I saw the call. I was in the shower."
Facts.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
This man don't go to calls.
No,
like
he
that.
doesn't. I think I've seen Hakeem at 2 calls in the last year.
You dragged it. You dragged it. Maybe this month.
Maybe this month, bro. There's like what 6 days left in the month.
Yeah, that's what I said. Maybe 2 calls this month I've been to.
At what age?
If that.
Like, all right, boom. So, yo, shut up. if and when you have kids or whatever, at what age you want to tell me, you want to actually tell me your story?
Ooh.
That's actually a
That's a
very
good
good question.
question
that I have not been asked before.
Ooh.
That's
Wow.
a great question.
I actually really appreciate that question because that's something I've actually put a lot of thought into. And the simple answer to that is as soon as I think they're old enough to understand it.
So, like,
Probably like 13. Probably around 13, 14.
Just right before they, you know,
Right before
go
they
to high
start
school,
getting like,
into the
really
field.
exposed to it.
Yeah.
Because like the
I mean,
the
don't get
reality
me
of it
wrong.
though is like
There's-
people don't realize that a lot of it really is genetic.
yeah,
Right? It's like, so I was adopted at birth, right? I made contact with my biological mother July 4th weekend of 2018, so just a little bit before I got sober. Dude, I ended up finding out that her father, so my biological grandfather, was an alcoholic. My biological half-sister is an in-and-out meth addict. That shit's in my genes, bro. Like, my, well, it's not really genetic, but actually it is. My aunt is a recovering addict. Her husband died last year from an overdose. Like, so it's, like,
Yeah.
it runs in my genes. And people don't realize that it's genetic, right? So it's like, I want to be able to get my kids to try to understand it, like, comprehend it as much as they can, as early as they can, before they start, like, getting exposed to it. Because, like, look, I get it. Kids will be kids. Like, I'm going to tell them, like, look, if you're drinking, I don't give a fuck if it's 3 o'clock in the morning. Call me and I'll come pick your drunk ass up.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want you driving because I've made that mistake a lot. I drove fucked up, like, blacked out a lot.
Note to self: call Mike at 3 a.m.
Yeah, I won't answer. I'll hit ignore. You can call a fucking Uber. You're my kid. But
That's fine.
No, but like, but seriously, like, I want them to really be able to understand it and understand the magnitude of it before it could possibly reach the potential of spiraling out of control. You know, I don't want them to be like, damn, I put my parents through this. They spent all this money to get me sober and this and that. But, you know, bro, at the end of the day, my parents said to me flat out, they're like, we would rather spend that money to get you clean and deal with the insurance bullshit than have to fucking pay to put you in a box and put you in the ground. And you know what? They're not wrong. They're not wrong. No parent should ever have to fucking bury their kid. Ever. Especially for something like that. But that little bit of guilt is still there. You know, so I don't ever want my kids to fall down that same path that I did because it's a long, dark rabbit hole that nobody wants to go down. It is fucked up. It's like the hole from Alice in Wonderland. But instead of fucking meeting the Mad Hatter, when you hit bottom, you're fucking staring the devil in the eyes and he's like, I want to take you. So now you need to make a decision.
Like it.
Pretty much.
The
Yeah.
clown.
Yeah.
In the sewer.
Yeah.
Sewer line.
It's literally like you need to make a decision and it's literally a life or death decision. It's either you make a decision to get your life back, or you keep going deeper down this hole
And you end it.
and you end everything. I made the decision to take my life back.
My back hurts. I don't know why.
Is something you need to tell us, bro?
Hey, yo.
I'm gonna keep my comments to myself on that one.
Niggas not jacking.
You're done.
I'm
You're
going
done.
I'm ending it here because he said that.
I guess. It's cold.
It is cold.
My door probably frozen.
Anyways,
No.
so I appreciate you for coming out, telling your story. You know, I know, like you said, not a lot of people are. Oh, hold on, I gotta. Let me repeat myself. I appreciate you for coming out. You know, sharing your story, letting people know how it is, and you know,
Know what I mean?
Not a lot of people would do
are-
this type of thing.
Yeah,
No,
So-
I do wish more people would, because nobody has the same story. You could take 1 million people from AA and put them in a fucking line. Not a single person will have the same story. Everybody's story will be different. Everybody's bottom will be at a different point. Some people's stories are a lot more fucking dramatic than others.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of the nature of it with the anonymity thing. But I mean, like I said, I take a lot of pride in being able to be open about what I went through and, you know, the ups and downs of everything. Because the way I see it is, this is also an opportunity for me to possibly potentially help somebody in an indirect way. You know, and if there is any way that I can help anybody, I mean, you post the video somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Oh
He was not
you're
listening.
fucking-
no!
you
I
are
was,
dumb.
I was
today.
like, what video is he talking about?
Dude, you're Andrew dumb right now.
Yo, oh nah, that's disrespectful. That's
No, but I'll have you guys post like my Instagram or something in the bio for it.
yeah,
And,
nah.
you know, and if anybody needs help with anything, you know, reach out to me through there. My Instagram's set on fucking public, so you can DM me. If you need help getting to a fucking rehab, I'll get you in touch with the right people and try to get you on the right track. You know, because look, I was very fortunate that I have family that works in treatment, so I was able to, and friends also, so I was able to be guided in the right direction. Not a lot of people have that luxury.
Yeah.
So if I can pay that forward, if the luxury that I had, if I can pay that forward for
yeah.
someone
I
else,
heard that.
I will gladly do that.
Is there?
I need to fucking.
We can see that.
Oh my gosh, it's like the craziest not. Ever.
Is there like a awareness number?
So there is not an awareness number.
Oh my god.
If anybody wants like to get sober but is afraid to reach out to me or anybody like directly, wherever it is that you live, you can actually look up AA for your area, and there is a number for AA for pretty much everywhere in the country, and it's an anonymous number. They don't have caller ID. That's a part of their whole thing, is just to help keep your anonymity. And if you want to go to a meeting, they'll be able to tell you a list of the meetings, and I know that there are meeting lists also available online as well.
Yeah.
So although there is no like direct awareness number, there are ways
To get in
to
contact.
get information about AA. And if there's anybody whose loved one is going through rehab or in sober living or something and is kind of like, I don't really want to use this word, but it's kind of like ignorant to it. Like they don't really know anything about it. There's another program called Al-Anon, which is a phenomenal program for, basically it's for people who aren't in recovery, but have loved ones in the program. And it kind of helps to guide you through the process of helping your loved ones stay on the right track. So those are two programs that are definitely worth looking into for sure. But I mean, like I said, I mean for awareness wise, the
You
best.
still going?
Yo, I can't crack it. It hurts like a bitch.
Shut the fuck up. Jesus Christ.
I'm just stretching. You didn't have to stop.
You've been stretching for like 5 minutes now.
Yo, I'm sorry. It's
But
like
y'all understand this nigga? He's cracking his fingers, cracking his neck, trying to crack his back the whole
Cracking
time.
everything.
No,
Am I making you nervous? Like, am I giving you
Nah.
anxiety?
No, it's just this one spot that won't go.
Well, anyway, the best advice that I could really give to people is one, if you have a friend or loved one that's struggling with drugs or alcohol, plant the seed with them because that seed will grow, but don't try to force the issue
Yeah.
because you can't help somebody who's not ready to be helped. If you force that issue, all it's going to do is cause them to grow resentment towards you, which is not going to help a fucking thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to help anything. And two, if you're one of those people that is struggling with drugs or alcohol and you do want to get help, even though there is no awareness number, there are resources available, myself being one of those resources, like I said. Don't be afraid to reach out because, like I said earlier, it's okay to be not okay. You know, we're fucking human. We have emotions. We feel shit. And we all deal with everything in a different way. But from experience, drinking and doing drugs, yeah, they're fun, but it's a Band-Aid. You know, once that drunk or that high wears off,
You gotta
that
face
shit's
reality.
gonna come back
Yeah.
hurting a million times worse.
Just like my back. Just like my back.
Bro, how many times I gotta tell you, lift with your goddamn knees.
Oh, bro. I'm sorry, you know.
You ain't sorry.
The weight of my heart is just so heavy.
I,
I feel for you, bro.
Alright, so boom. So with this old man dying over here, I think we're gonna have to end it off.
Yo, I'm tired. I don't know what it is. Nah, this episode was good. I hope it gets the message across to people overdoing it and abusing their bodies. And eventually you'll, it's sad to say it this way, but eventually you'll learn the effects that it has on the people who love and care about you. And I feel as if that's going to hurt you more than you can ever hurt them. And that's something you'll never be able to go back from.
That's very accurate. It's very, very accurate.
Well,
Thank you
Appreciate
guys
you.
for having
Thank
me.
you
I
for
appreciate it.
having you on.
again, this is Mendicus.
Intentionally mispronouncing my last name.
Yes. Mendicus. Dr. Phil.
What are you gonna name me now?
I don't know.
Something else.
I don't know.
Okay,
Honey,
boom.
Honey Boo Boo Child. And your boy Joshua.
Nigga, who?
Joshua.